Many of you have asked me to explain how our system works. And so I thought I'd do just a quick tutorial on what legislation is. So legislation usually starts with what's called a green paper. Do we have a problem? And this is a paper that invites comments and invites people like pressure groups to make their feelings known. Once it is decided that there is a problem, they produce a white paper. And a white paper is a research-based document, and it is a detailed document which experts contribute to, pressure groups contribute to, which decides to effectively change the law. And then people go away and they write it up and they frame a law, and the government of the day will introduce what's called a bill. This is introduced into the House of Commons. It goes through readings, debates, and amendments. And they vote on those. Blackrod then whisks the bill up to the House of Lords. And the House of Lords does amendments and readings and generally does a lot of scrutiny. Now, it can be taken to and fro the House of Commons and the House of Lords for all the different phases of the scrutiny process. And once it's all been approved and once it's been voted on by a majority, it then receives what's known as royal assent. And that is when a piece of legislation, a bill, becomes an act, also known as primary legislation. And that is something usually that the Queen puts forward in her Queen's speech as a government bill and ends up as an act of Parliament. Now, we also work under an 800-year-old system of what is called precedent, and that is the common law. So unlike France and Germany and other countries on the continent that have a fully written down set of laws, we operate under the common law. And the common law is devised around an adversarial system, so somebody like me wears a wig and argues the toss in court against the other side, and a judge will make a decision on that. And any way the judge interprets the legislation creates what's called precedent. And then subsequent judges will observe those rules of precedent. So that is the difference between us and the civil law system, because they don't have that same inherent system of precedent. And it is a powerful feature of our system that we have it, because it allows for people to modernize, it allows for contemporary views to be interpreted within the context of the laws we have. So when, as you know, I'm a critic of Bercow, when Bercow refuses to apply or to use his discretion when interpreting Erskine May in favour of the government, it is really, really frustrating, because he was quite happy to interpret his powers when Dominic Grieve wanted an amendment brought forward this year and when Erskine May needed to be revised, as it were. But when the government needs to do it, Bercow's never willing. And this is how what is a powerful and useful tool in the wrong hands can in fact be abused.